It began with a single dream: to leave the Earth. The 1960s weren't just about music, war, or revolution, they were about the impossible becoming real. In 1961, Yuri Gagarin became the first human in space. His words echoing across history: "I see Earth. It is so beautiful." The space age had officially begun. But this was more than exploration, it was competition. The USA and the Soviet Union raced to the stars, turning science into a battlefield of pride and power. Then, in 1969, humanity did the unthinkable. Under a moonlit sky, Neil Armstrong stepped onto the lunar surface. His voice, calm and steady, declared, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." The world watched in awe. The moon landing wasn't just a victory for America. It was proof that humanity could reach beyond its limits. Through the 1970s, rockets like Saturn V and shuttles like Columbia carried our hopes higher. Astronauts lived and worked in orbit, and satellites began connecting our planet like never before. But it wasn't all triumphs. Tragedy struck: brave astronauts were lost in the pursuit of discovery. Yet, every loss made the dream stronger. By the 1980s, NASA's Space Shuttle program turned space travel into something reusable. A new era of engineering brilliance. For the first time, space wasn't just for heroes. It was becoming a mission for humanity. And as the world entered the 1990s, one thing was clear: space was no longer a distant mystery, it was our next frontier. The 1990s marked the age of cooperation. A time when space was no longer about rivalry, but unity. Globe showing Europe-Africa. The International Space Station rose above Earth. A home in the stars, built by nations once divided. Astronauts from across the globe floated side by side, proving that in the vastness of space, humanity was one. But the dream didn't stop there. In the 2000s, something revolutionary began. A man named Elon Musk had a vision: to make humanity a multiplanetary species. In 2002, he founded SpaceX, and people laughed. Rockets were too risky, too expensive. Then, the impossible happened. In 2015, the Falcon 9 rocket landed itself back on Earth. It was a moment of disbelief. A rocket that could fly, deliver, and return safely. Space travel had just become affordable and reusable. At the same time, NASA's Curiosity rover was exploring Mars, and probes like Voyager and New Horizons were sending breathtaking images from the edges of our solar system. By the 2020s, the dream of space was alive again. Not in the hands of governments alone, but in the hearts of private innovators. Blue Origin, SpaceX, and Virgin Galactic turned what was once fantasy into reality. Ordinary citizens began touching the edge of space. The first civilian spaceflights took place, and humanity's next chapter began. A chapter written by dreamers, engineers, and explorers alike. In 2022, SpaceX's Starship pointed its nose toward Mars. Not a test, a promise. The promise that one day, humans will walk on another planet. And now, in 2025, that future feels closer than ever. With AI-guided rockets, reusable spacecrafts, and lunar missions ready for launch, we're not just looking at the stars. We're preparing to live among them. Because space travel isn't just about where we go, it's about who we become when we dare to leave home.